Okay, so we want to welcome everyone to this highly demanded webinar. We just put it together due to being highly requested. In this case, well, as you may know, we already mentioned that the content of the webinar will be related to specifically three aspects of ePLAYER1, which are presets, calendars, GPI, and silence event. So all the questions that you have, of course, you can put it in your Q&A section down in the bottom bar. We will be answering them once the presentation is finished. And of course, the ones that are not related to the content, we will be answering them post-webinar individually through email, okay? So have this in mind to drop your questions there regarding the content we're going to be discussing this time. And well, I just don't want to leave you with a further ado. So Luis, it's all yours. Luis in this time will be the host for the webinar. So I hope you enjoy this and learn a lot about ePLAYER1, which is a fantastic audio player. Okay, Luis, all yours.
Thank you, Jose. Welcome everybody. Thanks for your attention and your participation. Today, I'm going to present the ePLAYER1 to you, our streaming and local audio player. Let's start. Let's see the webinar structure. First of all, the ePLAYER1 features, then the web server features. A practical example, the school case. Well, we have designed this example because we think it will be very useful for you to apply it to your client's need. After this, we will do the setup. We will do the configuration for the presets, calendar events, and the GPIs and silence event. From the beginning, we are going to do it together, step by step, from scratch. At the end of the presentation, of course, I will be happy to answer all your questions. Let's move on to the ePLAYER1 basic features. We have USB and SD slots. We allowed to receive internet audio streamings. We have an online radio that you can select from the front panel. We can send audio through DLNA and AirPlay. The DLNA is for Android mobile devices and the AirPlay is for the iOS ones. We have 2 physical GPI ports. We have up to 24 calendar events, 20 presets. We have 1 stereo output, RCA and mini jack. We can connect to our ePlayer through Ethernet plus Wi-Fi, can work as a master or client. And we have a special application for basic control. It's called the replayer. Now let's see the web application key features. We work with this to the configuration. So there is no additional software needed. The Ethernet network connect, cable or Wi-Fi, as I said before, remote control of transport control. Easy Wi-Fi, easy firmware upgrade, and advanced settings.
Okay, Luis, sorry for stop you right there, but I think we had something, the presentation just jumped out of the screen.
I saw, it's for my connection, sorry.
Don't worry.
Now you can see, sorry, all of you for this.
Yes.
It's, you know, for the COVID, I'm working at home and maybe this happens, sorry. As I said, we can upgrade easily the firmware and we have advanced settings. This is important. We have to be connected to the same wireless local area network or local area network. Now let's move on to the school case. Let's see how this school works in terms of audio. The school hours are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and working days from Monday to Friday. It requires a background music in the bar. It will always be the same audio internet stream, starting playback at 9:45 AM, playing continuously until 6 PM. Rings, we have rings to announce the starting hour at 9 AM and the closing time at 6 PM. Warnings. We have a warning message. The closing time of the school will be announced in a pre-recorded message 15 minutes before closing every day from Monday to Friday. Also, nowadays, we have an alert message. There will be a COVID-19 campaign from October the 14th to December the 31st, sorry, announcing a special restrictions, pre-recorded message also. And this message must be repeated every day and every 30 days during this period. We also have an alarm evacuation by pressing a button. So now let me share with you the web server application. Now I am inside the ePLAYER1 through my local area network at home, and I am going directly to the presets page. The presets page allows the creation up to 20 presets. We have here the load preset button that loads the selected preset. We have the name preset. This is the name that will be displayed from the ePLAYER1 main menu. In this case, we will find school 1. Well, we have been practicing here, so I just put it here. Enabled events enables or disables the events triggered by the GPIs. In this case, I will show you later in the GPI in the events area, but now I will enable the GPI 1 for the alarm evacuation and the silence event as a backup for the background music in the bar. We will see it later in detail, as I said. The playlist, if this option is enabled, recalling the preset will replace the current playlist with the source entered in the source path or URL field. In this case, we will, for example, background music, for example, and the source, it will be this stream of radio. Okay, I would like to show you how you can see some examples. Also, moreover, you have here some examples, USB, MMC, it means SD card, and the AirPlay DLNA. In our manual, I think that now you are seeing it, we have some examples of audio sources. For the USB, MC, in a music folder, for example, for the USB and SD, just a MP3 file, a folder with some music defined by the playlist, and internet also streamings radios. Okay, these are examples. Also, here in the path, you can click and you can go directly to the source path. Okay, the play status, in this case, we will select the play, not stop, always in play. In this case, the school, we can put it at 75. We are not going to select the mute. The play mode could be sequential or random. We are going to select the sequential one. The repeat mode, these are the options, but we will say play all. Okay. We are not going to use any fade mode, so we will select the off one. And this is a complete system of speakers, so it makes not sense a lot use the stereo one. Okay, we will select mono. And then we will save it. Okay, if we load it again, we see the first preset with the name the school one, okay, with all this configuration. Okay, now let's move on to the events page. ePLAYER1 offers 3 events: GPI, ports, and the silence. The third one is the silence event. Here in the source tab, selects the action. No, sorry, the source tab. The source tab is direct or reverse polarity to define the trigger by contact, closing or opening, direct or reverse. In this case, we'll choose direct one. Okay. Here in the target tab, selects the action that the ePLAYER1 will do after the GPI activation. There are several event options types. For example, the internal trigger is useful for triggering actions. A preset recall loads a preset. Select the preset to be loaded with the GPI activation. We can choose transport control. The transport control, it's the current playback control: play, pause, play, stop, next, and previous, as you can see here. And also we can load and play source, loads and plays from a source. It's easy. And we will use the priority source because you know that the background music is still playing. Okay, I would like to explain you also that this is just an example of a school. Here are 2 areas, and maybe the best way is using 2 ePlayers. In this case, we only have 1, and this is easy. It's just an idea that you can see it. Okay, so we are going to use only 1 ePlayer for all the school. Okay, priority source. So we are going to use the priority source because we are always playing background music. Okay, and we would like to, when the GPI, in this case, the GPI1 is the alarm evacuation, plays the priority source, the alarm evacuation, and then gets back to the background music. So the priority source, it's a playback of a source with priority over the audio program. The source specified in the source field attenuates the playing. When the priority audio ends, the audio program gradually recovers its previous volume. So we need this priority source for the GPI1 for the alarm evacuation. Then we have the hold option. The source specified in the source field will be given priority while the trigger is preset, or pulse option. We will choose the pulse option. It means that the field will be given priority for the time in seconds specified in this field. Okay, and the retrigger option allows to retrigger the priority event. In this case, we will use we have alarm evacuation that wave in the USB, and the time will set, for example, 10 seconds, and we will save it. Okay, now we have the GPI1 done. GPI2, remember in the preset 1, we don't have any contact here. So we will have the silence event. The silence event is very important. Is for the absence of real analog audio signal at the unit outputs. So it means that allows the player to continue playing media when the currently played audio program ends or is interrupted for any reason. For example, loss of internet, accidental disconnection of network cable, erroneous flights, etc. So we will need this silence event, for example, for 20 seconds without receiving this streaming of radio, and we will load and play source. For example, in our SD card, we have a backup file for this background music. Hope this will be clear for you. So now we have the GPI1 and the silence event working. Remember, I will get back to the preset one. We have enabled events, GPI1 and silence event. Okay, let's move on now to the calendar page. The calendar page allows the configuration of calendar triggered events. We can set up to 24 calendar events, as I said at the beginning. We can enable and set the name. Okay, I will start now from the morning ring at 9 a.m. For example, morning ring. Okay. The source. The source tab, you can configure the time, date, parameters, and event repeat. So the start date, for example, we will start from tomorrow. We start at 9 and 00. The duration is the duration of the calendar event, allows to select the calendar event duration, for example, for seasons. In this case, for us, it's forever. Active days. Okay, we know that this school is working from Monday to Friday, so we will disable Saturday and Sunday. Okay, daily repetitions. The daily repetitions, these options is this select by default, but selecting it will open a drop-down list. Okay, you will see it now to configure the repeat settings. The interval repetition indicates how often the calendar event is triggered from the start time. Okay, and the times of this number of repetitions. Okay, we'll set here just for 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, I think it's okay. So if we save it, now the configuration is applied and here appears when the event will finish on Monday, and then on Tuesday we'll start again. Okay, the name was also saved. Let's see the target. The target tab is the same that we have in the previous page, in the events page. So now we would like to select also a priority source for this ring. Okay. In this case, we have a morning ring wave in the USB and save it. Okay. Now we have the morning ring select. Let's do the same for the afternoon ring. Afternoon ring. Enable. Starting from tomorrow. And this it's for the closing hour. So it will start at 6. The duration will be forever. Same active days from Monday to Friday. And also 20 seconds. 0 and 1 time. So if we save this, we will see in the event will finish at 6 and 20 seconds. Okay, Now, remember that we have a closing message. We have a closing message that there is advice 15 minutes before. It's a pre-recorded message that say that it's going to close in 15 minutes. Okay. Let's call it closing message. We will enable. We will start from tomorrow also. And it will start at 17:45. Duration also forever from Monday to Friday. Okay. One time of repetition. Also, let's say 10 seconds in this case. So it will finish 5:45, 10 seconds. Let's move on to the target. Same, another priority source. In the USB that we have a file, closing message, in this case is a MP3 file. And save it. Okay, we need another one, the last one, okay, that is the COVID message. That is, I will go back. We have the rings, the background music that is playing the preset, and we have alert message that will be the COVID-19 campaign, okay, to the 31st, this pre-recorded message every 30 minutes, okay? So we have the first calendar event for the ring morning, the ring in the afternoon, the warning closing message, and now let's going to set the COVID message. We'll enable, for example, COVID campaign, for example. We'll start 14th, okay, at 9, for example, 45. Duration, it has a custom end date, the 31st of December, and at 6 p.m. when the school closes. Active days, the same, the school only works from Monday to Friday, so disable Saturday, disable Sunday. And there is a repetition every 30 minutes. And we have to calculate how many times we have to repeat this until the event finishes. So if we save it, no, it's not correct. It will be something like 16. Sorry, I didn't calculate it before. It's my, okay. Yes, now it's correct. And the target, it's another file, and we need another priority source in the USB, in a WAV file, that is the COVID message. We save it. So now we have, in audio terms, all the needs that this school needs with our ePLAYER1. So the configuration that we have had in our ePlayer, we have a preset one with the bar background music. We have calendar events for their rings, COVID warnings, and also closing message. And we have a GPI and silence event. The GPI one is for the alarm evacuation with pushing the button, pulls the button, and we have a background music backup from our SD in our MMC card. So this is the end of my presentation. Today I show you just an example, but there are many applications to think about it, to think about them. This is just an idea to open your minds and apply it to your clients.